Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Tyler and with the third episode of Digital Footprints in our video podcast series. Today we're going to be highlighting the next two phases of hacking called scanning and enumeration. And so first we're just going to go ahead and get started with scanning, but before I do that, I'd just like to remind you on our last episode we highlighted footprinting, which is the first phase, and so now we're going to go ahead on to the other two. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and start with scanning. Scanning is whenever hackers perform, they go ahead and they scan to gain a more detailed view of a company's network and to understand what specific computer systems and services are in use. The hacker determines which systems on the target network are live and reachable from the internet. Commonly used scanning techniques include network ping sweeps and port scans. So if you've ever seen movies or anything, like you kind of see like a radar or a sonar, whenever it goes back and forth and it pings, that's basically what they're doing, but they're doing it through a company's database to gain information or any other things that they could use to steal identities or anything of that nature. So a ping sweep lets the attacker determine which individual computers on the network are alive and potential targets for attack. So that just basically, helps them find, what they need to go ahead and go through the hacking. So it's pretty important for them. And port scanning can be used to determine what ports, and a port is like a door or a window on a house, and it helps them determine, which ports are open on a given computer and whether or not the software managing those ports has any obvious vulnerabilities. So if it's vulnerable, then they'll attack it because it's easier to get into. So that's what we'll do in the second phase, and once again it's called scanning. And so on the third phase, which we're about to highlight now, is called enumeration. And the third phase, like I said, is enumeration. It's the process of identifying user accounts and poorly protected computing resources. During the enumeration stage, the hacker will connect to computers in the target network and pokes around these systems, I guess you could say, to gain more information. While the scanning phase might be compared to a knock on the door or a turn of the doorknob to see if it's locked, enumeration could be compared to entering an office or rifling through a file cabinet or desk drawer for information. It is definitely more intrusive. So most definitely, without a doubt, enumeration, it's a lot more serious, because then they're actually getting to all of your accounts and all of the really important things that you might need. So just keep those in mind. Thank you for joining us once again, and be safe on the internet. Remember, you are what you post.